don't necessarily think it's the unions that's causing the problems. It's just that it's the system that has proven that it's been a failure, that just doesn't work anymore. And that is the reason why the charter schools are working, because they're using a completely different system of learning than the public schools. But my question, the fire alarm that got me here today was a perpetual phone call on my job. I heard that address, but now that you have our attention, I guess this goes to the president of the school. What can we as the parents do? What do you need us to do? You have my hands. What can we do?
Committee meeting March 25th. Community committee meeting March 25th. Community committee members stand up. Actually, my community committee members in here stand up. These are people who work for you today. March 25th at Spark, 540 Orange Street at 6:30 p.m. We'll be getting together. We have committees that are actually recognized by our board. We have a board member who works with us. So it's not just about kind of the board is over here, the parents over here. We're working together. Report out at board meetings. Come to the meeting, please. Join a committee because we're trying to make things happen.
And just to add to that, just like we all feel and we know we have a world-class education environment here for our kids, we believe we can do the same thing with our community and our parents. And the good thing is, you're not the group that we have to go after the rest, because as Shafar said, we want 100% of our parents involved. And we believe when we do that, we will be a great investment here in North, and that we'll get the kind of resources we need for our kids. And so you hit the nail on the head. That's what's coming next.
We're going to take...
one more comment to that.
Okay.
The last thing I'll say to that is, as Ms. Foster said earlier, sometimes there are fights about charter schools, and we're actually lucky that there haven't been any big fights in Newark yet. But if you look in the news around the country, there are. We're trying to get ahead of that, right? We know we have parents who support their kids, and we know that you guys know what it means to run a good school, to be in a good school, and have that expectation for kids in Newark. So that's why we're getting everybody together now. That's why you need to make sure you sign your email address and your contact info on the sheets that are out there. And in general, we know that fights may be coming to us, but even if not, we need to take it to the system in order to spread what we know is good.
My name is Dawn Watson, and I live in Newark, and I have a child at Rise Academy. I have a family member at NPA and at 5 at Teen Academy. I like what your school concept recommends. Charter schools are not new to Newark. Link community has been in our community for years. When I was a little girl coming to visit New Jersey, there was Chad School. There was this. It's when your approach is, we're here together. We're joining your fight to raise your kids, that you're welcome. When you say I'm superior and you're inferior, the powers to be who have grown up here, Wiggums, Perry, Broad National Bank, they'll tighten their purse strings. They don't want to hear from you because this is their township and you're a stranger. I like what you do. You turned my little girl around tremendously, and I thank you. But if you want to be welcome, come in. Ray Nagin, the mayor of New Orleans, said he doesn't care whether it's public school, private school, or charter school. There's room for it all. And I second that emotion. There is room for teen KIPP schools. There's room for parochial, because that may be your religious purpose. And there's some kids that do real well in public school. And I'm looking forward to, even as my child graduates this year and goes on to high school, I'm looking forward to the development of your school as a part of the educational family for North. Maybe you're the cousin. Maybe you're the aunt. Whatever you are in the village, I'm looking for longevity and KIPP. But your approach as you go on your political endeavor, not I'm better than, but I'm a good answer to. There's room for it all. Where 30 kids are in a public school class, there's 15 or 10 in my daughter's class. That's an option for a kid who can't handle a baby without making them go to special services. This is an alternative, and it's a positive alternative. But Newark is deep-rooted, and deep-rooted in money with people who support their schools, because some great people came out of public schools. Faith Evans, Cool in the Game, all the Sarah Bond, phenomenal woman. They marched all through Newark on her death because she came from here. So we're not looking for you to replace. We're looking for you to enhance, be a solution, an alternative, a magnet school, if you will, an alternative for kids. And you have parents that support you. Not all your parents are ignorant. Not all your parents are this. We may have certain circumstances. Or I'm a victim of not knowing. But if you allow our voice to be heard, if you allow us to be a part of your school and really be upfront with us, we will support you wholeheartedly with my time, with my money, with my children, and when my child is gone. You understand? I'm going to still be there.
So we are going to take maybe one or two more comments, and then we're going to wrap up. We have one more set of comments from one of our board members, and we have to close out because we know Dr. Lomax has to head out soon, so we're going to take a couple more comments. I have a parent.
Hello. I'm a parent of Taylor Academy student. I'm very proud of the school and all of its accomplishments. When I came out, I heard, how do we advocate for our kids? And that's why I came. Because everybody here knows of the good work that the charter schools are doing. Right? What I think it looks like is, I have kids in public school, I have kids in the magnet school, I have kids in KIPP school. And that looks like different things all over the place. But what I do know is that when I go into the classroom, teachers are giving kids bad grades and they're saying, oh, they didn't turn it in. Well, what you have to do when you go in that class, ask why they didn't turn it in. How many of your kids are passing in your class? What are you giving? If you're giving bad grades to these particular directives, what is it that you gave them that talks to that directive? Because our kids are very bright. That's what people are missing. Our kids are very bright. And when the teachers are in class and not engaging them, and the teacher say, well, I take them to the lab and they write me 2 paragraphs because it's easy for them, it's easy for me. Don't tell me that, because I'm the wrong person to tell that. So that's what we have to do. And that's what we have to tell our friends and family members to do. Not just say, oh yeah, Johnny's not passing, but why is he not passing? Why is it that our public schools are releasing kids from 8th grade? They can't get into our magnet schools because they're not teaching. They're giving the kids A's for being quiet or showing up. That's what we have to advocate and say, look, we're not going to take that no more. And that's what you need to find out. What does that look like? That's what I want to hear from the board. Because we can praise team all day. I love him. Mr. Ryan knows. Mr. Ryan Hill knows I love him. But the whole important thing is to do is to make sure our kids get a good education no matter where they are. And that means questioning them teachers, bring it to them, and if they ain't doing right, you go to their principal. If the principal ain't doing right, you take it to the board. Because at the end of the day, there's directives on each of those things. Science says you need to do this, this, and this. And if you tell them you're giving my kid reading comprehensions and diddles that answer 5 questions at the end, that's not science. Okay? The kids that they're going up against, they're building bridges. So you cannot sit there and accept that and be mediocre. Like I said, I have kids in all the schools, so I have to go through this on a regular basis. And I tell my friends and people who I know, when you go to that class, you ask your teacher, what are the other kids doing? Because if half the class is failing, there's something wrong. And it starts at the top.